This is the Reolink RLC-823A, a pan tilt zoom camera from Reolink that has a 5x optical zoom. And we have the Reolink Trackmix, and this is a dual lens camera and has a narrow lens and also a zoomed in lens. Which one is better? Well, let's find out.
Hello guys, LifeHackster here. Today we'll compare the two PTZ pan tilt zoom IP PoE cameras from Reolink. We have the bigger RLC-823A, which records in 4K quality and has a 5x optical zoom, and the Reolink Trackmix, which has two lenses, one wide recording in 4K quality and one zoomed in, and has what Reolink calls the hybrid zoom. I have separate individual reviews of these cameras, and if you want to check them out, I will link them down below. And if you find this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it yet. Thank you, and I appreciate it. These two cameras basically have the same features: motion tracking, two-way audio, spotlights for color recording at night, has sirens, AI person, vehicle, and pet detection, and also can track one or all of them. But the main difference between the two is that the Trackmix can zoom in while tracking, while the 823A cannot. Now, before we compare the footage, we have to talk about how the zoom works on each of these cameras. Now, the 823A has a 5x optical zoom and not digital, which is a good thing. There will be no degradation of the video quality when zoomed in. But the zooming function is not practical in motion tracking, because with optical zoom, there is a delay in focusing. So when a person being tracked is moving towards or away from the camera will have a hard time focusing. That is why zooming in during tracking is not implemented with this camera. The main benefit of having the 5x optical zoom is when the area you want monitored is farther away. But the more you zoom in, the lesser the field of view of the camera. And I think most of you that has this camera doesn't use or set this in full zoomed in position. The Trackmix addresses these issues by using two lenses. One wide angle with a 104-degree horizontal and 60 degrees vertical. And the narrow one is 38 degrees horizontal and 21 degrees vertical. Also, to compare this with the 823A, its widest is 96 degrees horizontal and 69 degrees vertical, and the max zoom is 27 degrees horizontal and 21 vertical. But with the Trackmix, because it has these two lenses, it doesn't have to worry about focusing. It can zoom in while it is tracking using the hybrid zoom, as Reolink calls it, and it just mixes the field of view of the two lenses, plus digital zoom via software. The only downside is that it is not in 4K quality, only 1080p. You still do, however, have the wide lens recording in 4K in a separate channel. So for video quality, for the 823A, I have to set it to its widest field of view for this comparison. I'll also show you what happened when I set it to max zoomed in.
We'll be comparing the video quality of the Reolink RLC-823A and also the Reolink Trackmix. Video clarity test at 10 feet, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Running my test. We'll be comparing the video quality of the Reolink RLC-823A and also the Reolink Trackmix. Video clarity test at 10 feet, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Running that test.
daytime quality is around the same in both cameras, but at night there is a remarkable difference.
This is the video quality of the Reolink RLC-823A at night, and this with the spotlights turned on, and this is what it looks like at 10 feet, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 35, 50. This is the video quality of the Reolink Trackmix at night and with its spotlights turned on. And this is what it looks like at 10 feet, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. This is the video quality of the RLC-823A, and this with the infrared 4 infrared LEDs turned on. And this is what it looks like at 10 feet, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. This is the video quality of the Reolink Trackmix at night, and this with the 2 infrared LEDs, and this is what it looks like at 10 feet, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50.
There is a definite ghosting on the Trackmix in both infrared night vision and in spotlight color recording beyond 30 feet. The 823A is better in both, and also has more powerful infrared LEDs up to 190 feet while only 50 feet for the Trackmix. As to spotlights, the Trackmix has a 450 lumen spotlights while the 823A is more than double at 945 lumens, which most likely contributed to better quality of the 823A at night. I also tested the 823A by zooming in, which is not really practical because your field of view and detection area of the camera also narrows down. Plus, just see how the camera goes haywire when zoomed in. And also listen. Yep, that whirring sound is just annoying. There's a feature though in the pan and tilt controls that the 823A has and the Trackmix doesn't, and that is patrol mode. Also with the 823A, you can use the zoom function when programming your preset positions. As to tracking when panning, both are pretty good, but I noticed even with the latest firmware on the 823A that it can easily outrun its tilt when going towards and under the camera. The Trackmix is pretty spot on and doesn't lose me. As to alert notification, both cameras have the same fast notification speeds. Cool off in notifications can be set to as frequently as every 20 seconds. As to audio,
this is the audio quality coming out from RLC-823A. This is the audio quality coming out from the Trackmix.
Both of these cameras are the loudest as to their camera speakers that I've tested, so no issues there. And as to the camera motor noise, let's start with the 823A. Definitely there is some noise, and you can hear it. Same thing with the tilting. And now let's compare this with the Trackmix. You could barely hear it. The tilting is silent. What I like on the Trackmix, aside from being quiet, you can set the tracking to digital first, so that will only start physically moving when the motion gets out of the wide angles field of view. As to installation options, the 823A is set up for wall install only. You can buy a separate mount if you want a ceiling or horizontal install, but that's an extra expense to already expensive camera. The Trackmix, on the other hand, can be installed either in a wall or ceiling, plus it is smaller and cheaper. Let's talk about the application of these cameras and the limitations of motion tracking. Personally, I still prefer regular static cameras, but a PTZ camera can be a better option if you want to monitor a wider area, and you can only install one camera. The limitation of any tracking feature is if there are multiple motion. It tends to follow and lock onto the first detected motion, like a person for example, but if you also set vehicle and pet detection, and they are on the camera's field of view, they can also be detected and follow them, and lose track of the more important motion. I personally will not use any of these cameras in the front area of my house, where there's a lot of traffic. Or if I do install one, I'll just pick one AI to track, like person only or vehicle only. For a backyard though, where there's a lesser traffic, this can be a good option, and you just need one to monitor your whole backyard. Also, I like the features of the Trackmix better, especially that it has two lenses, basically two cameras, and its wide angle lens recording will act as a backup, just in case there are multiple motion. Anyways, comment down below with your experience with these cameras if you have them, and that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.